Hello, audience. I'm here with another episode of the program Eurasian Perspective. And today we are joined by a very important person from Uzbekistan, who's our friend, Mr. Eldor. He is the head of Development Strategy Center in Uzbekistan, and he's live with us from Tashkent. Good evening, Mr. Eldor.
Hello, good afternoon. Pleased to see you.
Yes, can you hear me properly?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for inviting us. I'm pleased to be here.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Eldor. Today is an important day for Pakistan because today in our National Assembly, our government is holding a conference, an international conference on the 50th anniversary of Pakistan's constitution. Pakistan's constitution was adopted in 1973, and today our Speaker, National Assembly, Raja Pervez Ashraf, has convened a meeting of many countries in which Uzbekistan is also represented. They are also, your representatives are also here, and we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Constitution. And very recently, Uzbekistan has also adopted a new constitution. I have a copy of this renewed constitution. Let me just show it to the audience who are seeing us live on the Facebook. So, Mr. Eldor, I would first of all kindly introduce about the Development Strategy Center, and then I will ask you a few things about the Constitution.
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me congratulate Pakistani people with the anniversary of the Constitution. We know that it's the most important legal document which serves as a cornerstone for all other reforms. And congratulations once again to our brotherly friends.
So please tell us about a Development Strategy Center.
Yes, the Development Strategy Center is a think tank which monitors the ongoing reforms happening in Uzbekistan. And this institute also serves as a bridge between the public officials and civil society institutions. We, as a civil society institution, work with people, ask their opinions, ask their ideas, ask their feedback on ongoing reforms, and then try to generate further proposals to increase the efficiency of ongoing reforms. For that reason, we also cooperate with expert society, including both foreign and international experts. Then we also try to work with media officials, media experts on assessing the ongoing reforms. Other than that, of course, we also try to deliver information about Uzbekistan with the purpose to get further ideas, further suggestions on what else Uzbekistan needs to reform, how, very importantly, how Uzbekistan needs to reform different spheres. So in that, of course, we, as a think tank, also try to learn best foreign practices of our friends, our brotherly states. Then we try to justify our proposals, then submit it to the policy makers. In that regard, we also try to make joint publications, joint events. Recently, Uzbekistan has went through constitutional reform, and we, together with our Pakistani friends, also conducted several events where we discussed on Pakistan's experience on constitutional reform, on what we should concentrate on when carrying out this type of reforms. Then we also exchange ideas with our Pakistani friends, with your help, Dr. Akram, on publications that we could arrange together on different spheres, including constitutional reforms.
So, Mr. Eldor, kindly tell for the audience that what was the need at this time in Uzbekistan for the updation of constitution? Because as we know, Uzbekistan, once you got independence, you had a constitution, but now you have done many major reforms. So what was the need for the updation of constitution now?
Yes, thank you for the question. I should mention that the initially adopted constitution in 1992, it of course touched upon all important issues of state administration, civil society administration, and the foreign policy, military issues. However, parliament and the activists of the country considered that we need to go forward and strengthen the norms and the practices or the legislation reforms that Uzbekistan has faced during the independence at the constitutional level. Because Uzbekistan's people have been witnessing the openness, transparency of public officials. Then people have been witnessing the increase of accountability of public officials at all levels, be it at the Republican level, regional, or a district level. So people also started taking part in appointing various officials through their members of the parliament at all levels. Then, of course, people started getting more information recently on the activities of public officials, including their budget spendings in general. So that's why, additionally, I should mention that people started feeling religious freedom, media freedom in the society. We could see how people started communicating with public officials, including through media. So that's why people wanted more. People wanted these essential reforms to be enshrined in the most important legal document, the Constitution of Uzbekistan. So although some of them are already regulated at certain level by legislative acts, people wanted this to be strongly prioritized at the constitutional level. So that's why most of the changes were implemented into the new constitution. This is one of the reasons. Another reason is that, of course, the population of Uzbekistan is currently more than 36 million people, and our experts are expecting an increase, because by 2040, people are expecting that the population will be over 50 million. So that's why the society also states that they want a stable economy, safe country, effective management, and social guarantees. These wishes of the people are now enshrined at the newly adopted constitution. Because if you look at the norms, then you will see that, for example, as for the social guarantee, more than the norms concerning social guarantees are increasing by 3 times. So this is very important. And as for the stable economy, there are many norms on guaranteeing doing business in Uzbekistan, on establishing and guaranteeing investment-friendly environment in Uzbekistan to do business, just like ensuring property rights, ensuring privatization of land for the first time in the history of Uzbekistan. So these type of norms are being enshrined.
Yeah, over here, I would like to interrupt you over here, and because I have gone through all the new articles of the Constitution, and I find them very exciting, because As we know that His Excellency President Shaukat Mirziyoyev is a dynamic leader, and in last couple of years, he has made Uzbek economy a very, very vibrant economy, not only in the region, but also in the world. And let's start talking about the changes in the constitution one by one, so that our audience can come to know that what important steps Uzbekistan has taken in the constitution for supporting the growing economy. As I can read it over here, that your new constitution, I mean the reformed constitution, it gives a very big right to entrepreneurs. And for the first time, the constitution also talks about the favorable investment and business climate. So what kind of things your constitution offer for the entrepreneurs? Because there are a lot of Pakistani businessmen who would like to invest in Uzbekistan, and they are very much interested to know that what changes in the financial and economic structure has been made in Uzbekistan. I hope now your constitution has become more business friendly for international business.
Yes, thank you for the question. Economic development is the one of the cornerstones of current reforms of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan, in that sense, of course, trying to bring investors, especially from abroad, into a variety of spheres. As such, Uzbekistan is trying to get rid of its state assets and sell it at the competitive rates and as open as possible to the foreign investor. This is very important. And for that, of course, there are many issues that the state needs to go through whenever it wants to bring investors. And these very important guarantees are now at the constitutional level. For example, entrepreneurs now have the right to carry out any activity following the law and to choose the directions of their activity. So which means now Uzbekistan has been trying to sell its huge assets to foreign investors, which have been closed in the past because they were limited, and they were specifically saying that these directions will be owned by state. But now, as you can see at the constitutional level, the state is stating that entrepreneurs will have the right to choose and do business in any direction that they wish, just to follow the law. So this is very important. Then the state, of course, for that purpose, is undertaking a variety of obligations. And for example, one of the obligations that the state is setting in front of it is providing a favorable investment and business climate. So this is enshrined in the new constitution. Very importantly, is enabling entrepreneurs to undertake independently any business activities according to national law. So the state, to put it simply, will not be giving directions in which sphere entrepreneurs should be involved in. It's up to them. It's up to their potential, up to their investment management skills, in which sphere they want to be involved in. And another important issue is guarantee of the free movement of goods, services, and labor, because including financial resources, because in the past there were some restrictions in terms of these issues, we should note. And now these restrictions are abolished at the constitutional level, and as we can see, the state is guaranteeing free movement of goods, services, labor, and financial resources. This is very important because now state is reforming different directions. And we can see that because of these reforms, now there are state can see that it needs an expertise it needs managers in different fields. So we feel that that these type of people cannot always be found inside Uzbekistan. So that's why Uzbekistan is also trying to bring in foreign experts in different fields, be it geology, be it banking sector, be it in other spheres of finance. So just to bring in best foreign practices in management or in geology, in other spheres, and fill in that gap that state is currently in need of due to reforms of spheres which have not been reformed for several years. So this is very important, and that's why at the constitutional level, state is guaranteeing freedom of movement, even of labor. So for that purpose, if there is a potential person who could contribute in reforming the country from abroad, then of course state will be ensuring their freedom of movement inside the country for businesses who hire that professional, for state entities who bring in that expert, and of course create favorable conditions for them, and including for their families. This is important. Then one of the very important issues in this is that for the first time, state is introducing something new, which is the fact that land can be privatized. This is very important. So this is for the first time is enshrined in the new constitution as one of the new initiatives addressed by the
talking about the new initiatives. One thing I have seen, which is very pleasing, that you have included environment in the constitution, and one of the articles says that all citizens will have greater control over urban planning to protect their environmental rights, and sustainable development principles will be prioritized, and state will implement measures to improve, restore, protect environment, and maintain ecological balance. This is, I think, very, very unique, because up till now, I don't think that any country in the world has included the environment in the constitution. And as we know that climate change and environmental changes are happening all over the world. So what can you tell us about this thing? Because I think it is a very unique thing, because in all the countries about the environment, we have laws, but normally it is not made part of the constitution, but this has become part of the constitution. So can you explain this also?
Thank you. Yes, Dr. Akram, the new constitution of Uzbekistan finds solutions to the current challenges that people are facing. So, for example, one of the challenges is ensuring gender equality, increasing the role of women, not only in social sector, but in state management also. Another challenge that our people are facing is increasing the role of teachers in the society, because more than 60% of our people are young people, and the state administration acknowledges how important it is to educate people by teachers who are independent, by teachers who are, free from any type of influence. So for that reason, these two challenges are put at the constitutional level, just to increase the role of teachers and limit them with any interference in their activities.
Yeah, and about the environment also, and environment.
Yeah. And the issue of environment is another challenge that people in Uzbekistan, in the region, are facing. Yeah. So for that reason, this is enshrined at the constitutional level, because currently there are constructions happening all over Uzbekistan due to the reforms, due to the economic stability of the country, and as such, we can see that now we need to pay more attention to the environment, and whenever conducting these construction works, Uzbekistan's parliament, people want to ensure that officials who are involved in construction respect environmental rights of the people. So for that purpose, the constitution states that all citizens will have greater control over urban planning. So which means whenever a construction will happen in any part of the country, people over there will first of all look through the project, then it will go through the parliamentary oversight at any part of Uzbekistan, and only after that, with the close consultations of people, these construction projects will be implemented. So therefore, this important issue is foreseen in the constitution.
Mr. Eldor, very recently on 30th of April, people of Uzbekistan, they voted in a referendum to adopt the new changes in the constitution. So what can you tell us about the referendum? How was the response of public towards the new constitutional reforms?
Yes, this is a very important question because you have observed yourself and many other observers, for example, a total of 383 international observers, including 184 individuals from different from international organizations, and 199 international observers from 45 countries were present during the referendum. And as such, we could say that the participation level of people has been very high. It's over 84%. So 84% of people who have the right to vote participated in the referendum, and more than 90% of them supported the new constitution. So and here we should note very importantly that the previous constitution could have been amended by the parliament itself, but the president of Uzbekistan stated that people should vote for it, whether or not they want the new constitution. So for that reason, a referendum was announced, which we recently held on April 30th, and people, as you can see, the Central Election Commission reported that more than 84% of people who have the right to vote participated at a very high rate. And this once again shows the political activeness of people. This once again shows that people started trusting the government even stronger. This once again shows that they believe in the future of Uzbekistan, because they voted for the new constitution, which ensures irreversibility of reforms, which the Uzbekistan has been facing recently.
Yes, very nice. So since I was myself there to observe the elections, and yes, I saw that a large number of young population had come out to vote, because as these constitutional changes are for the new generation, because after 5 years or 10 years, the new generation has to take the reins of the country. So talking about the human rights and other issues, we have observed, and I observed, that the constitutional reforms talk a lot about disabled people and special people. So what are the constitutional changes and constitutional guarantees are given to disabled people?
Yes, overall, we should note that previous amendments and changes which happened to the constitution, they most of all touched upon on administrative reforms, distribution of powers of the president, parliament, or executive. But these amendments and changes to the constitution mostly touched upon ensuring human rights and human interests of people. So here we are not limiting citizens of Uzbekistan. Here we are just saying persons living in Uzbekistan, because in Uzbekistan we don't have only citizens of Uzbekistan, but other nationals or people with even without citizenship. This is very important. And for that purpose, the state also has undertaken a variety of obligations with the new constitution. For example, protecting the rights of disabled and lonely elderly people, persons with disabilities, and other socially vulnerable categories of people. For that purpose, the state is undertaking, first of all, bringing education to the level that even disabled people can enjoy, can have an access to education. Another important issue is their social protection. So their rights in terms of medical rights, in terms of other social guarantees, are now enshrined at the constitutional level, including, for example, providing housing. So this is one of the unique norms that cannot be seen in other constitutions. We believe that state is undertaking an obligation to provide housing for its people. For that purpose, the state will undertake different projects like introducing special beneficial credit lines for different categories of people, for women, for young people, for disabled people, or provide other like social guarantees for them to enjoy the right of housing. Then a very important norm in terms of ensuring human rights is, for example, widely introduction of the habeas corpus. Yeah, like for example, introduction of Miranda rights. This is new in Uzbekistan's legislation. This, of course, comes as a solution to another challenge that society has been facing. So because of that, now we will see that presumption of innocence will be guaranteed at the constitutional level, and people will be explained their rights at the time of detention, and they will be explained for what they are about to be arrested, and will have the right to inform their relatives. This is very important, and this has been also very much welcomed by the society, because people have witnessed several cases when law enforcement people used to arrest someone, but without an explanation of why this person has been arrested. So this challenge now will be, as you can see, we'll find a solution at the constitutional level.
So, Mr. Eldor, we have talked enough about constitution. So now let's talk about the business environment in Uzbekistan, because as you know that from Pakistan and many businessmen who want to come to Uzbekistan and to invest. So can you tell us that what kind of business environment you have? What kind of guarantees the government gives to the foreign investors? And as I know that right now, probably in complete Central Asia, Uzbekistan is one country where there is a lot of foreign investment coming in. So how can you tell us about that?
Overall, of course, this statement is changing what you said, because Uzbekistan has been positioning itself as an open, transparent country with investment-friendly environment, both legal and in terms of practice. So for that purpose, the flow of investment is rising, and the new strategy of Uzbekistan for 2026 also foresees the investment rise. For example, it's setting a goal that it will reach 100 billion, out of which 70 will be foreign investors, and as such, Uzbekistan's friends, including you, for example, actively promoting the changes happening in Uzbekistan. As such, more and more interest well, we can see that there is more and more interest from the business society. And recently, Uzbekistan has held investment forum, and business people from all around the world participated, and they saw by themselves how legal environment has changed in terms of protecting investors. In that regard, of course, first of all, I should mention that Uzbekistan has modernized its national legislation to ensure and protect investors. Then Uzbekistan has, of course, is a member of a variety of international investment conventions, including the fact that Uzbekistan has concluded more than 50 bilateral investment treaties with specific countries to ensure and protect investment of the investors coming more than 50 countries. Another important issue, Uzbekistan is a member of New York Convention, and which ensures that if an investor is not satisfied with the decision of national courts, then of course the investor can bring in the claim against Uzbekistan to international courts. This is very important. So in addition to domestic courts, investors also have the right to enjoy international courts, to resolve their disputes. And Uzbekistan also foresees these guarantees at the law on foreign investment in Uzbekistan. Another important issue, of course, based on the investment amount, Uzbekistan government also ensures preferential tax rates for investors, depending on the investment amount, which can be up to 3 years, 7 years, and 10 years. So this is very important. And another issue to guarantee the investors' operation in Uzbekistan, Uzbekistan also has been developing PPPs, public-private partnerships. So there are some directions or spheres where state can also work as a partner of a business person by providing huge infrastructure, huge lands, or huge buildings, or by other guarantees where they will bear the losses and expenses jointly. This also gives another confidence for investors who want to do business in Uzbekistan. Then, of course, another very important issue, cheaper labor force and cheap energy resources. This is very important. This is important for the investors, and highly qualified people who could also carry out business in Uzbekistan.
And also, since the FM channel is mostly heard by young people, and a lot of young people, young graduates want to go to Uzbekistan for getting education. Recently, we have seen quite a number of young people going to Uzbekistan for getting medical and engineering education. So what is your take on this? That what are the educational reforms which have happened in Uzbekistan in the new constitution, which can help the foreign students to, once they go to Uzbekistan, and get quality education?
Mm-hmm. Yes, providing education is a high priority for Uzbekistan. Just like I mentioned, more than 60% of our population are young people. And if in 2016 the coverage with higher education was around 17–18%, now the coverage with higher education is 40%. So which means 40% of young people have the right to get higher education, especially taking into consideration the number is rising, the population of Uzbekistan. And the new strategy of Uzbekistan also foresees that this the coverage with higher educational institutions should reach up to 50% until 2026. So as such, we can see that the number of people are rising, But additionally, the number of educational institutions are rising, because currently we have more than 190 higher educational institutions, including private, including foreign institutions. So for those who would like to come to study in Uzbekistan, Dr. Akram, I should mention that now they have more opportunities. Yeah, they can study both at local universities, the quality of which is rising, and at international or foreign institutions, which the number of which is also rising. So the new strategy foresees actually that the number of foreign educational institutions should reach up to 50. Now more than around 40 foreign education institutions are operating in Uzbekistan, and we are seeing that more and more foreign institutions are willing to establish their branches throughout the whole Uzbekistan. And additionally, those young people from Pakistan, of course, also will have their will enjoy the touristic potential of Uzbekistan, because Uzbekistan is an ancient and very rich country, and some leaders also state Uzbekistan as the center of civilization. This is very important. More than 70,000 touristic sites we could show, touristic objects that we could show to our friends from different countries, including those young people of Pakistan who are interested in getting education in Uzbekistan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eldor, as we are about to finish our interview. So before we finish, I would just like to ask you one thing, that since Pakistan and Uzbekistan, this friendship is not new. Our culture, our history, it goes back to long time back. Islam traveled from the area which is now known as Uzbekistan, from Samarkand and Bukhara to this part of the world. And we have seen Zahiruddin Babur and other emperors who came from the land of Samarkand and Bukhara to this part of the region. And now this is the time to reconnect with each other and go back to our roots. So before we you are sitting right now in Tashkent and I am sitting in Islamabad. So before we finish the interview, what is your message of friendship to people of Pakistan?
Yes, thank you for this question. You know, it's very important to develop public diplomacy. Yeah? It's very important that there is a contact between people. So, of course, public officials are doing their jobs to increase trade, to develop relations, but people, ordinary people, should, of course, enjoy and experience those changes that are happening between Uzbekistan and Pakistan, because we know very well that our leaders are in close contact. They often meet, and our ministries, our parliamentarians, our expert level people are also in close contact. What we need to do is develop public diplomacy. And this is very important, that people themselves, so that people themselves see those changes in relations, how countries are changing, how countries becoming more tourist friendly, more investment friendly. So that's why I really hope that the cooperation between, of course, very importantly, between our public officials will develop even stronger. But additionally, I really hope that public diplomacy, interaction between ordinary people will also develop.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eldor, the Executive Director of the Development Strategy Center in Tashkent. We are very glad to talk to you, and hopefully we will start a program with you very soon in which we can have some theme-based programs about investment and about the tourism opportunities and education opportunities in Uzbekistan. And at the end, I will just say one thing, that Pakistan and Uzbekistan enjoy an excellent relationship. This relationship is not new. It dates back to centuries and centuries. And hopefully, people like you and us will be able to hand over this torch of friendship to the new generation. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleased to be here. Thank you.